polishing disc on it. I've never used one of these. Well, this is a Ryobi 6-inch bench grinder. I've used bench grinders before. In fact, I've got one here somewhere. But not one like this, and not one with these kind of wheels on it. And I know that there's rouge, polishing rouge, which you use. If you look at this one, you see these red stains. Well, that's what that is. And I've seen several containers of that in unloading Bud's stuff. I need to go back through those containers if I'm going to do a lot of this and locate that stuff and get it in the place where I can have it to use. But I don't have this one bolted to the bench, but I just wanted to try it and see what I think. And the first thing I noticed is just this machine is walking toward me. I probably want to put a couple of screws down in here. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to shoot a couple of screws and screw this to the bench here so that it'll sit there and not walk around. But I'll show you what that was looking like. This is the part that I polished. I polished one side with this and one side with this. I don't know if that's the difference in one wheel. Might have had some darker solution on it than the other, but let me shoot a couple of screws into this thing, just enough to keep it in place there, and then we'll. And the other thing I got is this is something that Bud had. It's an air polishing wheel, and I've got a compressor down here. I could try that one too. Oh, the joy. Poke around and see what I can find in the way of some kind of polishing rouge or something to see if I can make a difference on this. Right now, all I see it doing, it's kind of getting darker, but at the same time, there's places on this where it is darker automatically. And then it's kind of light and it's kind of spotty looking like that. So it may be that, see, that just basically looks dirty. So I'll go get some rouge or something. I'm going to have to look through his stuff and see what I can find. But I'll go do that now. Appreciate y'all. see, that's third string though. I can get one of those. Oh, the joy. Aren't we having fun? Banjo strings. Yeah, baby. I got them. Generally, anytime you're changing strings, you're going to have to go through a process of the strings stretching and various things like that. That's pretty normal. I saw, I believe it was Don McLean one time. I believe it was Don McLean. He was playing on Johnny Carson, I think. No. It could have been, I can't remember what, could have been Roy Clark. I saw a guy playing the banjo once, could have been a guitar, on Johnny Carson, broke a string in the middle of a song and never stopped playing. He changed the string while he was playing and then tuned it, but he never stopped playing. He did all this. He played it on just 4 strings while he was putting the new string in. He pulled the string out of his pocket, ripped it open with his teeth, spit the paper away. And you know, I don't know how he did that, but man, talk about some talent. Something's wrong with my 5th string, and I think it may be this 5th string bridge, because there should be a notch here, and it's cracked. I probably need to see if I can cut another notch. I like this bridge because it's short, and this one has a really straight neck, so that short bridge works well. Can you even see the banjo? But this string is not in a notch. It's kind of up against the wood piece there. I may have enough room to notch it over here. That would set the string out a little bit, but that would be okay. I should have my coping saw here, and I should be able to make a new notch right here. See, there's a piece of bone. It's probably not really bone. It's probably plastic. But this is ebony on either side, and then either plastic or bone right there. But let's sit that there. And this one has a loose thing here, it looks like. And I might break this string, but we'll see. Hold your breath.